All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's conversation on a fascinating concept that's bridging philosophy, human experience, and technology in unexpected ways. I am Ibrahim Malik, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by Dr. Shams Hamid, founding director of Imagine Institute of Future Studies. Before we dive into our discussion, let me explain what we mean by vibe coding, okay? So, unlike traditional computer coding, which dealt with programming languages and software development, vibe coding is about understanding and interpreting the unspoken intuitive elements that govern, human connection and creativity. It is the recognition that beneath our rational system lie patterns of energy, intuition, and resonance that profoundly shape how we experience the world and each other. So, vibe coding examines how we can become aware of these subtle energetic patterns and even learn to code on influence them to create more harmonious relationships, environments, and societies. It is where the quantifiable meets the qualifiable, right? So where data meets intuitions. So Dr. Hamid approaches this concept not as a technologist, but as a philosopher and futurist, right? So his work at Imagine Institute weaves together diverse disciplines to understand the complexities of contemporary society and envision new possibilities for our collective future. Uh, he has collaborated with organizations like UNESCO, World Bank, and various educational institutions to apply future thinking to today's most pressing challenges. Right. In our conversation today, we'll explore how vibe coding offers a new lens for understanding human dynamics, right? Its implication for education and social systems, and why this philosophical approach might be exactly what we need in an increasingly technological world. So, Dr. Hamid, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to dive into this conversation about vibe coding, and it's important for our future.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your invite, and I'm very happy to talk about vibe coding. Coming from philosophy, computer systems were always logical, they were rational. So there were other capacities that we find in human beings, like the capacity to have emotions, capacity to have imagination, capacity to have intuition, and their unconsciousness, which processes a lots of information. So these were what we found in human beings, whereas the computers lacked it. And now with the AI models, it is possible for us to train these systems to understand not only reasoning, but also our feelings, our emotions, our nuances, our intuition. And that's what distinguishes traditional coding to with the vibe coding, which is not traditional in that very sense that Ibrahim just told you about, that it is not based on logical patterns alone. It also picks up other patterns that we find in human interaction. Some interactions in some environments seems to be more conducive to learning, for creativity, and some are not. So what is the difference, and how do we use these computer systems to bring our human knowledge and human capacities to coding, and create such codes which are palpable with life, and with energy, and with intuition, and with emotion. So that's what brought me to this vibe coding.
Excellent, excellent. So yeah, no, this is very fascinating to hear your journey as a philosopher into technology, right? So my question to you is, how does vibe coding relate to your work and future studies? Does it offer new ways of anticipating or creating possible future?
Absolutely, because futures studies now has developed new philosophical basis, where we say that future is not determined; it's a different time, temporal reality than present time and the past time. Past is already determined. It's all, I mean, you cannot change it. And present is an actuality. It is evolving, but it is actual. Whereas future is a potential, a pure potential. So there is no other way to access future, and you cannot access it based on data alone. You cannot access it through any other way except for imagination, because it is pure potential. And here in this journey, I mean, I have seen game theory, for instance, which is used in decision making, where every participant, every stakeholder is considered to be rational. Whereas in truth, human beings are not only rational, they are intuitive, they are emotional, they are imaginative, and all of that. And here, this vibe coding, for that reason, resonates with future studies, because it creates a possibility of looking at future in which, not only from the data side, not only from rational side, but also with feelings, with emotions.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Thank you for explaining that so well. So, we live in a world that's dominated by artificial intelligence and algorithm, right? So, how does vibe coding fit into this landscape?
It's very important that the way our computer systems and these platforms are developing and evolving, and they're evolving very quickly, we have to have those policies. We have to have those ethical understanding when we are developing these codes. It cannot only be for one purpose, maybe just to make profit, but also to have to create a better world, a humane world, empathetic world. And if we are able to teach our computer systems to have an understanding of empathy, even if they do not feel, they can understand emotions, if they can understand intuition, and if they can act in that way with that kind of understanding, they would be more useful, because these systems are getting more powerful and they would be making big decisions for us. For instance, just imagine self-driven cars running in a city, and it has to follow the computer commands, and whatever problem that faces or encounters in the way, it has to have a resolve coming from that decision that AI is making. Now, if that AI can understand emotions, if it can pick up intuitive cues, it would be better in making those decisions. It would be a more humane decision as compared to a cold, rational, reason-based system making decisions about such a humane affair.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for explaining that so well. You work with international organizations like UNESCO and the World Bank and universities like Craig University and several others. How do these, big organizations are responding to these more intuitive approaches to knowledge and decision making?
I mean, first of all, like UNESCO's Futures Literacy Department and any of those departments who are working for future literacy, they understand it very well that future is something that we cannot know. It is unknowable. So we have to shape it. So in order to shape a future, we need to have some decisions of a group. And that decision has to be made with participation of all the stakeholders. And those stakeholders do not only possess reason, or they do not make decisions only based off reason, they also make decisions based on empathy, like helping a nation or helping a company, not just to make profit out of it, but to help them, because it feels, I mean, it feels right to help them. So for that, I see most of the United Nations departments who are working, especially in future studies of foresight field, they value all other human capacities that includes reason, imagination, emotion, and all of them. So for that, for I mean, considering that, vibe coding would really resonate with all of them.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. This is a topic that we will keep coming back to. And in the next session, we will do a little more technical dive in it, if you will. So what I heard, what I learned today, Dr. Hamid, let me recap it. What you're saying is that if we allow our conception of intelligence and knowledge to be reduced to what can be explicitly codified and processed by machines, we diminish ourselves. We risk creating futures where efficiency and optimization lose meaning, right? And lose meaning and connection. So the great challenges we face, you've mentioned climate change, social polarization, ethics and responsible AI can be solved through analytical approaches alone. They require us to access our full range of human capacities, including those those dimensions that vibe coding encompasses. So the societies that thrive will be those that honor both our logical and intuitive aspects of human intelligence, and create systems and technology that amplify, right, rather than replace our uniquely human gifts. With that said, Dr. Sharma, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for talking to us. Guys, if you have any comments, more questions for Dr. Hamid, please leave it in comments. We will definitely try to get you a response to it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. I'll see you next time. Thank you.